What's going on, guys? It's Perna here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the best bulking hacks. So these are for the people who just need to get calories in, and maybe you're sick of stuffing food down and you can't stomach it anymore, and the whole process is just gross and difficult. So these are the top 3 that I would recommend. Nothing else, let's get straight into it. Number 1 is high calorie shakes. You probably know this, you're probably already having high calorie shakes, but a few things to note in here. 1, if it were me, I don't suffer from this problem. If anything, I just want to eat everything and then I get too fat and have to rein it back in again. It sucks. But if it were me, I would have a heap of oats in there. I would have whey protein. I would add coconut oil. Coconut oil is basically all fat. Fat has 9 calories per gram, double the caloric density of protein and carbs. So think fats. This is going to be coming up in today's video. In terms of other carb sources, dates, really good. Dates should be your best friend in general. Just snack on them throughout the day. They're amazing. Take yourself on solo dates. And then honey as well is a good one. I don't really feel like I'm getting too full of honey or peanut butter. Those ones are very easy, peanut butter especially. However, if oats sit a little bit weird in your stomach and they bloat you and they interrupt your digestion, that's gonna make it more difficult for the later meals. Don't have oats, have different carbs. This is where clusterdextrin comes into play. Now, clusterdextrin is like maltodextrin, which is like a very cheap, readily available carb source. It's just a powder, but clusterdextrin is better absorbed in the body. So if you have the budget for it, get clusterdextrin, whatever brand, doesn't matter. Otherwise, try maltodextrin. If that sits well in your gut and it's much cheaper, give that a go. Now, we have this carb powder, literally just pure carb powder. What you can do is put that in and around your training. So if it were me, I've done this before and I got fat as hell because my metabolism is just great. If it were me and I couldn't put on weight, I'd have maybe 50 grams pre-workout, then put 50 grams in your intra-workout shake with your amino acids, 50 grams in your post-workout protein shake. Just there, you've added 150 grams of carbs, which is like the equivalent of eating 5 bananas. Bang. Just smash it in there, didn't even notice it. You don't really get full off that, especially if it's a good carb source. So titrate that up if you like. Even Ryan Terry the other day, I saw he put an Instagram post out. He said he had 100 grams pre-workout, 100 grams intra, and 100 grams post. He just had my daily intake of carbs and just drank it like it's nothing. So high calorie smoothies, great, that's one thing, but intra-workout shakes, and it's called peri-workout, around your workout, taking advantage of peri-workout nutrition, key and very easy. And we'll be right back to the video. Just a quick message from the sponsor of today's video, my brand, Slouch Potato. Guys, Slouch Potato is the comfiest clothes you can possibly wear at home. It'll make your experience right now that much better. So you guys can use the code YouTube for 15% off. These are honestly amazing. Stretchy, soft, comfy, so good. Anyway, back to the video. Bulking tip number 2, high calorie rice. So this is just limited to your creativity and imagination. This is about making the standard bland boiled rice or steamed rice into something nice. So what we do there is just in the cooking process, add a bunch of enjoyable things to it. So what I do is I add either coconut cream or coconut milk to the rice to make coconut rice. That tastes so good, and number 1, it's easier to actually eat more of it, but 2, it just adds that many more calories in. So get creative with this. Another one I tried the other day was I just put a chunk of butter in there, raisins and dates as well, and that just turned like, and cumin. Yeah, and that was like a really nice Middle Eastern style, rich. Just add things to it. Get creative, add oils, butter, coconut milk. I'll list a few in the description, but definitely get creative with it and just think differently. I've done a rice pudding before as well. Just kind of flip it on its head a little bit. Tip number 3 is fattier cuts of meat. I think in the bodybuilding world, people get so caught up in eating like chicken breast and standard steaks and beef mince and all these things, they kind of forget about the actual other cuts of meat that exist in the world. So number 1, it's more enjoyable if you're having like fattier cuts of meat. So if you're thinking steaks, let's go Scotch fillets and ribeyes. Obviously more expensive, but hold on a second. Instead of usual like eye fillets or just a rump steak. So rump is like the cheapest, but it just tastes chewier than my ass and boots. So avoid that in my opinion. But some of the cheapest cuts of meat have the most fat on them. And that's why, I mean, people don't even go near them. So you might need to slow cook them. Go get the like chewiest looking, fattiest like chuck beef or whatever they have at the supermarket. It'll usually be really cheap, and you just have to chuck in a slow cooker or a pressure cooker for like overnight or whatever, and it'll be just falling off like so soft and tender and super high in calories. Because remember, fats is what we want here, fats are the friend. So you don't have to get the most expensive cut of meat just because it's like fatty or whatever. Some of the cheapest cuts of meat are the fattiest. So in terms of like even lambs, you'll get some really good fatty lamb. You just might need to cook them a little bit longer, that's all. So make sure the meats you're eating as cheap as you can, obviously, because that'll help nowadays, but also fatty. Just rethink it. If you're having chicken breast, maybe go chicken thighs. Usually the cheaper dread cuts of meat that nobody wants, they're the ones that you might incorporate in your meal plan. So that's it for this video, very short and sweet. If you guys want any more, like kind of further breakdowns on this or go-to recipes, just let me know in the comments below. And also share some of your favorite bulking hacks and maybe I'll put them into a video as well. But that is it for me, guys. Nothing left for you, and you know what to do. Stay nice. All these sexy jeans in my section, and slide into your DMs in the PM and the AM. Then I slide into your feelings when you see just what I'm saying.